Yo, what's up, guys? Everyone, today, man, we'll be reviewing Boyz in the Hood 33 years later. So, obviously, it's been a while since Boyz in the Hood came out. Finally got to have been on this binge of watching older movies, especially like with Ice Cube. I watched, what's it called? 21, 22 Jump Street, and I just watched Friday. I'm on a Ice Cube kind of binge watching these old movies. Comment down below as well any other movies of classics that I should watch. If you comment a movie, there's a high chance that I haven't watched. I'm just really getting into my bag now, weekly on Fridays, going out and, watching the movie, getting a movie out a week. But let's get into the review. So Boyz in the Hood, I love it when I watch movies and I see classic clips, and I see, heralded actors and actresses. I'm like, oh, so that's where you're from, because there's people that I hear about, obviously, from like social media and things like that nature, and I'm like, damn, I really haven't seen them, and now seeing them, it's really, really cool. So overall, getting into it, I will give Boyz in the Hood an 8.5 out of 10. I was gonna give it a 9, but the ending was, when I'm watching movies, I root for certain things, and certain things I was rooting for just didn't go to where I wanted them to go to. But we'll get into that as I move along with this review. So the beginning scene is usually what I always look to take something from it. I saw the little kids. Obviously, the movie's called Boyz in the Hood. It's boys, it's everybody, and obviously they're in the hood. And what was it, like South Crenshaw, LA, a popular spot for like the hood and things of that nature. The beginning with the kids at the crime scenes, and they were just acting like it was like normal. They had like the paper. There was like yellow paper, like whatever it says, and then they just saw blood, and they were talking about some insides, like this biology class, and these like little kids, they're like at most middle school. I'm like, yo, and they're like this like a normal day, like, yo, this is insane. Like that was tough to see, especially the way they were talking about like blicks and bodies. Like, damn, this guy right here he just got blicked up on the ground, and he stinks, he reeks. I'm like, yo, this ain't normal, ladies and gentlemen. Like, this is not normal. I mean, that's tough. Let's get into Ricky, man. Ricky. I honestly feel terrible for Ricky. He had basically a wife. He had a kid. He's about to go to USC, and then he gets caught up in Doughboy's mess with the gangs, and he just packed up, man. The guy needed a 710 on his SAT. I mean, he needed a 700 on his SAT. He ended up getting a 700, so he would have gone to USC, would have played college football, and then he just, unfortunately, he went out to get some cornmeal because his girl asked him. His girl probably was awful. She asked him because he went to ask Doughboy, and then Doughboy was like no, and then he went with Trey, and they went together, and then they split up after getting the cornmeal, and then boom, Trey calls out Ricky's name, and he takes like 2 shots, and the guys who blicked him up, they're out of there. But don't worry, Doughboy got something for them, which we'll get into as well. But that was brutal. I was rooting for Ricky. That's tough. Shout out to him as well. I love watching movies when I learn about again, like the actors and actresses. That was Morris Chestnut, who I've obviously seen in I'm a big Suits guy. Suits is like one of my top 5 shows of all time. He was in Suits. He was phenomenal in that. Shout out to bro. He was with oh my god, Jessica. The fact that I'm almost Jessica Pearson. The fact that I almost blanked on her name was actually diabolical. The moral story, which I like to have for all of these, is everybody has their breaking points. We saw Travis' breaking point where obviously Ricky gets blicked and he goes to do something, and then his dad kind of calms him down, and then while he's talking to them, Brandy's here. Brandy, his girlfriend, obviously Nia Long, by the way. Nia Long, that's some fine shit right there. Shout out to Imi Udoka. You are not a real person, but that's not the point. And then he has that like kind of like moral support, and then boom, while Brandy's coming into the house, and his father opened the door, Furious Styles, by the way, shout out to Lawrence Fishburne, probably my first movie I've seen of him that I vividly remember. Very, very good actor. Definitely heard a lot of good things about him, so shout out to him. I'll get into him at the end of the thing as well, but Trey had jumped out of the window, and Brandy was calling his name, and it was too late. He was out of there. He was in a passenger seat with Doughboy, and it was GG's for a little bit. Really, it was the movie though. It starts off with them as little kids, and then they go on 7 years later, which again I'll get into as well. Furious, he ends up going to his dad's house and living with him for a while. His dad Furious for at least 7 years. He was with his mother, who I just found out as well was Angela Bassett, and in Boys in the Hood she was Reva, which isn't because she looked familiar. I just didn't know what her name really was, but yeah, she is another really good actress as well. Shout out to her. I obviously loved her in Black Panther. Just a really good actress. So shout out to her for sure. Their longevity as well. What I say, that was 33 years ago, and now she's still at the peak of her powers in Black Panther. Whew, that's tough. Love that longevity right there. That's like LeBron, Tom Brady, Kim K, Anne Hathaway. That's some elite longevity right there. But yeah, so Trey gets into a I was about to say skirmish or fight or argument, because he was the class clown in his school, wasn't paying attention, and then he had to go ahead and, you know, when you do something in class and you act up, and he's just like, oh, why don't you teach the class? And he does, and he gets into it. You can see that he's kind of like low-key, like intellectual. He has it inside him. He just wants to entertain people and is a class clown. Now, thankfully, Furious, his dad, gave him a set of rules. He initially was only with his dad on the weekends and his mom for the rest, and then ended up vice versa, and then ended up just being him just staying with his dad and not seeing his mother even as he got older. The rules that he had were amazing. I mean, initially we see him raking the leaves, and for a while from light to dark in multiple bags as his friends go off, and he's just tasked with just doing this. As a kid, you need discipline like that. That's why it helps to have, even though a father, have like a father figure to give you that. By the way, shout out to the single moms out there as well. They do a phenomenal job. Shout out to them. No disrespect whatsoever, but it definitely does help to have both a fatherly figure and a motherly figure as well. That's just my 2 cents on all that. Trey's boys in the first part, they went out bad. Obviously, Doughboy and Ricky. Oh, I had to look up the fact that I just didn't realize that Doughboy was one that was in the Raiders hat and got kicked, but he ended up helping to get was that Trey? Or was that, I can't tell. I know Trey, I know for sure Little Doughboy and Ricky got had the juvie for stealing, but I forgot whose football it was. It might have been Ricky's foot. It had to be Ricky's football. Ricky was one of I was playing football. He was playing, but he was about to play collegiately. Yeah, that had to be Ricky's football. So Ricky's football. He ended up getting that back from the shout out to Doughboy. He's a real one. The producers, they did an amazing job with that, because Ice Cube don't stay for nothing. And Doughboy, Little Doughboy, had him was not stay for nothing, especially Big Doughboy. Ooh, that man was on timing. Them to jump into 7 years was genuinely insane. I'm not gonna lie, that 7 year math was not mathing, bro. Trey from 7 years ago to when they showed him, bro, he looked like a good like 20. At least 20 to 25 years old, somewhere in that range. Like, that was diabolical. Ice Cube and Nia Long do not miss with these 90 movies. I mean, it's just phenomenal just seeing them. Oh my god, they do not miss whatsoever. Just another classic between them as well. Shout out to Brandy, who always was played by Nia Long. Another really good role. Why did Dookie the whole movie have a pacifier in his mouth? I'm so confused by that. Like, I don't know. I didn't look that up. I did look up something else, which I'll get into, but I did not look that up. I'm not gonna lie though. Again, that 7th year math was not mathing. And we see him all of a sudden. I'm like, damn, that's Trey. He's working, like he got a good job. He got Brandy by his side, but he's not really giving her all the attention. He's playing, what's it called? Not Too Hot to Handle. He's playing Hard to Get, and he's trying to get her to chase him, and then he doesn't, and he goes to her dad's house and gives him the barbecue from one of his friends. No, it was from, wasn't it from Brandy's mother, who they low-key had like a thing for each other, low-key. And then Doughboy and his guys and everybody, Trey, all distracted by the huzz. Like, no matter where they go, they're like, damn. Bro, everybody is distracted by the huzz. I get it. Y'all gotta be like, there's a time and a place. Like, you gotta be dedicated to your craft, and then the huzz gonna always be there. Your craft, you have a certain amount of time in that time frame that you dig. And then after that, Do your thing. Do your thing. Do your thing. When Brandy was chilling doing her homework, and then you just hear like shots firing. I'm like, that's diabolical. That's diabolical. This shot spraying is generally insane. That racist cop that was just saying, I don't know. I was watching on Netflix with captions on. Yes, I watch captions on with every single show that I watch, a movie and all of that. He was saying like soft A, but he was saying like, but on the caption it was hard R. I'm like, black on black crime is diabolical. And it's like beating him up, like just like brutally abusing him, police brutality. Like that was diabolical. I don't know what the hell that was. My dog Trey won at the end with Brandy, aka Nia Long. She said she was saving her card till they got married, and I don't know if they ended up getting married, but it was like they basically got married for the most part. And then by that time, he had never had any before, and then he ended up hitting her and having some. So shout out to my dog Trey. He ended up telling that fake story about running out the window on this random girl, and then her grandma pulled up or something like that with like a knife or something. Hey man, insane story, but hey, he hit Brandy. That's some fine shit. That's some fine shit. That's some fine shit. And that classic gif that I always see of Lawrence Fishburne, like having like this death stare full of anger with those like bows in his hands, just moving him around. He's like so mad with this death stare. I finally saw that clip in action. Another classic clip I saw in action as well was the where they're at the like the kickback whatever, and Ricky is with Trey, and Doughboy's with his guys, and he's in his car, and they pull up on him, and he has his piece on his side, and Doughboy's like, we got a problem here, lifts his shirt up, and you can see his piece, like not his piece like his junk, like his blink. Pause. That was another classic scene right there, just absolute cinema. Shout out to my dog Doughboy. Again, Ricky getting a 710 on his SAT, but unfortunately not making it out to reach his dreams. Right on the cusp of it. It's just generally insane. I'm glad Trey came back to his senses, and then again, peace anybody up and go with Doughboy to handle the business, where they were driving to find the guys that blicked up his brother, and just so sad for Thingy. And they ended up finding him and the guys when they randomly just went out to eat, and they were just chilling there, and they were like off guard, and then boom Doughboy gets them multiple times to make sure they gone. That boy's out of there. Just a phenomenal pack watch, and then we end up finding out that unfortunately Doughboy ends up going to the funeral of his brother, and then like 2 weeks later he ends up getting unfortunately blicked up as well, and he's cooked. So his mother basically disowned him, because obviously Ricky was the favorite child. I don't know what happened to their father. Did we hear about the father, or do we just see their mother? I don't remember anything. Yeah, they don't have a father. I remember earlier when Furious was telling Trey that they don't have like a father or fatherly figure or anything like that, so they're gonna get put in jail, and they ended up getting put in jail because they don't have that figure. So luckily for Trey, he was able to get set straight by his father and things of that nature. But yeah, Doughboy going out sad, Ricky going out sad. Those are my dogs. Like if those guys were like, I was rooting for them, man. If those guys made it out alive, I'll probably give you like a 9 out of 10. But damn, again, I'm rooting for certain things, and my boys going out sad. Like that's tough. That crackhead was like, she will just like do anything to get some money, and her kids randomly in the middle of the street. Gotta be stopped. Like if you're ever that down bad, like please see psychiatric mental help. Like please make sure you have the right people around you. You need a good support system, because Jesus Christ, that is diabolical. And good message as well with the helicopters. I was wondering, what is that? I looked it up on Twitter. It was like basically explaining like oppression and constant like video and constant like everybody what's it called, like surveillance on you and things of that nature, because they obviously in South Crenshaw in LA, a lot of eyes on them and things of that nature. So it made sense I'm like, what is this helicopter? And we see on the news there's a helicopter. I'm like, is that? And there's like this blue light obviously continuously going on throughout the whole entire movie. It was just like, what is going on? I was like, what is going on? So overall, giving it an 8.5 out of 10. looking through the actors and actresses right now, people I want to shout out. As Big Trey, Cuba Gooding Jr., Ice Spice obviously as Doughboy, Lawrence Fishburne as Jason. I didn't even know his name was Jason. Jason Furious Styles, actually a really smart guy who had his own financials and was like kind of like this public speaker for his community. So shout out to him, a very, very intellectual guy. Shout out to bro. Morris Chestnut as Ricky. Revo, who I'm still insanely stunned, is Angela Bassett. Brandy as Nia Long. Doughboy as Baja. They have the little Doughboy picture right here on Google. Oh, that's hysterical. Shout out to little Doughboy. Shout out to Baja Jackson. That dude's how old is Baja Jackson? 46 years old. Damn, time flies. Again, this movie came out in 33 years ago. So at the time, Ice Cube was like 21 years old and he made this, which is just absolutely insane. Just an absolute living legend. Oh, Regina King was Shalika. Wow. I've heard the name Regina King before. Okay. Tara Farrow. I've heard of her. She was Mrs. Baker. And Desi Arnaz Hines II was Trey Styles. No, Trey Styles. That's the little Trey Styles, and the other one's the big Trey Styles. Dookie was Dedrick D. Gobert. Whenever I see Gobert, I think of Rudy Gobert. And the other Mandy was Nicole Brown. Interesting. This guy looks really familiar. Oh no way. Kareem Grimes, who was in All American, was in he was the ice cream truck guy? No way. Hold on. My boy Kareem Grimes, man, he had an insane character development in what's it called? In All American. He was the ice cream truck guy? Nah, that's crazy. That's fire. Oh my god, that's fire. Yeah. But other than that, y'all, that is the video. Make sure to go down below, drop a like, comment down below, sub up, make sure to follow me on Twitch, Twitter, and TikTok. It's your boy John. Hopefully you guys did enjoy the video, and I'm out, man. Peace.